The search narrowing in the efforts to find a replacement for fired FBI Director James Comey. President Trump interviewing 4 candidates this afternoon. Acting Director Andrew McCabe, former Senator Joe Lieberman of Connecticut, former Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating, and FBI official Richard McFeely. Former Assistant Attorney General Alice Fisher removed herself from the list of those being considered and interviewed Saturday. Joining us tonight to discuss the Deputy Attorney General's appointment of a special prosecutor, Senator Luther Strange, a member of the Senate Budget and Armed Services Committee, also the former Attorney General of the great state of Alabama. And Senator, good to have you with us. Let's start with the announcement that Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, had decided to appoint a special counsel. Your thoughts about the necessity, the propriety, and the prospects?
Well, I'm not, going to second guess the appointment. I think former Director Mueller is a good choice. I'm not sure that it was necessary. I have a great confidence in the ongoing operations of the bipartisan Foreign Relations Committee investigation. Great work has gone into that effort. Rosenstein and of course I know Jeff Sessions very well, the Justice Department, and the professionals of the FBI are doing a great job. But I think if we I don't think it hurts anything. I think people have confidence. He's certainly a distinguished person. What I'm focused on now, Lou, is getting a new director at the FBI, someone that you alluded to some of the choices, someone that will restore some confidence to that great institution.
Yeah, I'm going, if I may, to interject with a question here about what you said about the FBI. As we look at all the scandals that unfolded over the Obama years, not a single one of them was brought to resolution by the FBI.
Right.
As we look at the success of the FBI in preventing terrorist attacks here at home, there have been too many in which they failed, even when advised of the dangers represented by individuals. This is, again, an investigation into the election and the meddling of Russians, which has been going on since the 80s. And we've got people with hair afire acting like the only time it ever happened was when Donald Trump announced his candidacy. This is not an FBI that is particularly productive, successful, efficient, and I'm wondering whether we should be more, frankly, more guarded in our description of the agency that James Comey led, not to distinction.
Well, I think, in my view, it comes down to leadership. As an Attorney General of the state of Alabama for the last 6 years, I had to deal a lot with the Obama Justice Department, and it all depended on where their emphasis was. My emphasis was on public integrity, public corruption, violent crime, etc. That was just not a priority. Enforcing the immigration laws, as you well know, a big priority. That was just not a priority for that Justice Department. So it depends on priorities and leadership, and that's why I have such great confidence in Jeff Sessions, a person who I've known well for 30 years, who believes in the rule of law and enforcing that.
Well, I think you and I would agree that if Attorney General Sessions had been in charge of the Justice Department for the past 9 years, we'd have seen quite a different record of history written.
Absolutely, and I expect, look, I was able to hire a number of great former FBI agents who wanted to come to work in an Attorney General's office where we were going to actually pursue bad guys and enforce the rule of law, no matter where, and follow the truth wherever it led. So I know the Bureau is full of great professionals like that. I think it boils down to leadership, and that's why I'm looking so closely at the next director.
Yeah, I would concur with you, but at the same time, their record is what their record is. It is not distinguished. It is not successful. They have not been efficient. They have not been productive. And this nation cannot afford another 8 years of that kind of performance by such an important intelligence and law enforcement agency. Do you not agree?
I do agree, and I think you would find the sentiment within the Bureau, professionals wanting to do their job and looking for that kind of leadership that you and I are discussing.
Sanctuary cities, the president bringing law and order to his administration. Sanctuary cities, the left is fighting this president at every turn. The deep state judiciary is doing the same thing. The establishment is recoiling and attacking now. Its fangs bared, and it is just ugly to watch. Yet we have too many Republicans, Senator, acting as though they're not involved in this fight, when in fact it's a struggle for a nation.
Absolutely, and I came to Washington to make a difference and to help implement the Trump agenda, which is what the people of Alabama who sent me here believe in strongly. So building the wall and making sure we follow the rule of law, repeal and replace the tax agenda, repealing regulations, and confirming conservative Supreme Court justices, all is a big package to me, and it's what the people are really talking about, not the stuff the media is hyperventilating about moment to moment here in Washington. But the point you raised is a very important one to me. The sanctuary city issue, and the bill I've introduced with my friend David Perdue of Georgia, is sending a message to sanctuary cities who just refuse to follow the law, who won't cooperate with federal officials to try and keep violent, criminal, illegal immigrants out of this country, and who will go so far as to penalize individuals and businesses in their own jurisdictions who want to bid on a wall. We'd rather take that money, if they won't cooperate with the government, and move it to another jurisdiction.
We put up with that nonsense through the administration of President George W. Bush, President Barack Obama. Is there some reason to think that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will support the legislation and that it will be driven through to passage in both the Senate and the House?
Well, if I have anything to do with it, it will.
I understand, Senator, but I'm asking for your judgment about Mitch McConnell, the leadership in both houses.
I think it will do. I truly do, because I think the president has made it a top priority. And I will just tell you, from the people that vote in Alabama and the people that voted for President Trump all around this nation, they take his promises seriously, and they expect us in the Congress to help facilitate that agenda. So that's what we're all about.
Well, Senator, I hope that everyone in the Republican Party in both houses agrees with you on that judgment. Thanks so much, Senator.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good to see you again. Senator Luther Strange.